Have you ever made a decision, felt completely sure about it, and then made the mistake of asking for someone's opinion? And in that exact moment, you felt disconnected from your own gut, disconnected from the clarity you just had. That feeling, that is the hidden cost of approval. That deep down decision that you made for yourself in the quiet of your room, or during a long drive, or in prayer. You were clear, you felt right, it felt like God was whispering directly to you. But then you did the human thing. You walked out of that room and you found a friend, or a partner, or a colleague, and you shared it. You said, "Hey, I'm thinking about doing this." And you watched their face. You scanned their eyes for a tiny flicker of approval. You waited for the nod. And they didn't nod. Maybe they frowned. Maybe they said, "Are you sure?" Maybe they just stayed silent. And instantly, that connection you had, it severed. You felt dissatisfied. You felt disconnected from your own thoughts. You felt disconnected from God. You went from feeling like a giant to feeling like a child asking for permission. That feeling, that nausea of losing your own certainty, that is the hidden cost of approval. We need to talk about why this happens. Because if we don't fix this, you will live your entire life as a shadow of who you were supposed to be. Humans are structured to be social. I get it. Biology tells us that if we are alone, we die. If the tribe kicks us out, we freeze or we starve. So we have this ancient, deep-seated hardware inside us that is terrified of being different. But there is a gap, a massive gap between socializing and submission. And if you are not able to recognize that gap, you are in trouble. This is the time for you to understand why your thoughts are unique. They are a blessing. They are not something you need to file down and break apart just so they fit into the puzzle piece of the person standing next to you. I see it constantly. I see people who spend their entire lives trying to fit in. You know these people. They never think out of the box. Not because they can't, but because they are terrified of what happens if they step outside of it. Watch them speak. They struggle to have confidence. They don't speak fluently. Why? Because while they are speaking, they are watching you. They are noticing every expression on your face. Is he bored? Does she agree? Am I weird? They are uncomfortable with not getting approved. They have treated themselves to belong under this safe little umbrella they created, telling themselves, if I stay under here, no one will judge me. Now, I want to be very clear about something. I'm not blaming you for feeling this way. I'm not standing here judging you for seeking that nod of approval. In fact, I want to absolve you of that guilt right now. It is not your fault, it is your programming. Think about it. From the moment you were 5 years old, what were you told? Color inside the lines. Don't be too loud, don't be too weird. The entire education system was designed to create factory workers. It was designed to create people who follow instructions, not people who follow their intuition. Society has spent decades conditioning you to be a sheep. They built a box, they put you in it, and they rewarded you every time you stayed inside of it. So when you feel that fear, when you feel that shake in your hands because someone frowned at your idea, that is just the old software running. That is just the conditioning trying to keep you safe in the factory. But that is exactly why I am telling you this today. Look at you. You are here. You are listening to this. If the programming worked perfectly, you wouldn't be here. You would be at home, asleep, comfortable in your mediocrity. But you are awake. Because deep down, underneath all that layering, underneath all that fear, you are different. You have felt it your whole life. You have the power to make a decision without a committee. You have the capacity to be human, to be connected, to love people, but to still stand alone when you're thinking, when your point of view is different. You might have received a sudden recognition in the past for being different. Even some of your close ones might take help from you to choose from options because you think differently and they know it from within, but they still won't accept it up front. But now it's time to rewire those patterns as they have power. The people who disagree today were once acknowledging you for doing something extraordinary. But today they don't agree when you are being extra. So show them being ordinary with some extra plans, extra ideas, and extra decisions, and be extraordinary for the lifetime. Yes, we feel less confident when we see disapproval. That is natural because you haven't seen the result yet. You are walking in the dark. But let me ask you a question. You haven't seen the success yet, but you haven't seen the failure yet either. It's all blank, so why not let time categorize it? Why are you assuming the tragedy before you even picked up the pen? Here is the cold hard truth. The graveyard is full of people who had potential. The graveyard is full of people who almost did it, but they were too scared of looking stupid. But look at the pattern. All of them were stupid. From Mahatma Gandhi walking half naked to the sea to collect salt, to Padman wearing sanitary pads to test them when his whole village called him a pervert, from Einstein failing to fit into the academic mold, to Mary Kom putting on gloves when women were told to stay in the kitchen. They all use their madness to be an alpha. I would rather look stupid for a year than look back with regret for a lifetime. It's better to try and fail. So if you have the vision, that vision was given to you, that gave the fire to you. So stop looking for the proof in outside eyes. You won't find it there. The proof is in your gut. That vision was given to you. So decide and break the pattern. If you're here listening to this, deep down, you know you have the power to make a decision without any external approval. You know you have the capacity to be human, to be connected, but to still stand alone. We usually feel less confident when we see someone disapproving of us. And that is fine. That is natural because you haven't seen the result yet, but you haven't failed as well. So better to try and fail than to regret, right? If you have the vision, try not to look for the proof. Instead, break the pattern. Let me tell you the secret of every achiever. It is always correct to test and fail on your own terms than to disintegrate just because someone else did not approve. Yes, it is risky. It costs a lot. But this is your life. The decisions you take today will craft your present self and your future self. And that has nothing to do with the people you are seeking approval from today. And yet, you are waiting. You are waiting for permission to be great. And here in this moment, I want you to look at the people who are actually succeeding. Look for the ones we call an alpha personality today. Now go back to their past versions, their challenges, plus the pattern of the people around them while they were struggling. Go back to when they started, before they were rich, before they were famous, leading. Look for the ones we call an alpha personality today. Now go back to their past versions, their challenges, plus the pattern of the people around them while they were struggling. Go back to when they started, before they were rich, before they were famous, before they were successful. How were they treated? Almost all of them were treated as a disapproved personality. The people surrounding them used to think they wouldn't be able to do anything. He's crazy. She's dreaming too big. That will never work. Who does he think he is? They were labeled as failures before they even started. But here is the difference. Here is the only thing that matters. They didn't listen to those approvals. They didn't wait for the nod. Instead, they created their own life because they understood that silence was better than false approval. Go through the life of Shah Aman Gupta, the boat owner who recently addressed a national conference with the PM. Where did he start? He was living by his wife's salary until he turned 30. Everyone around was cursing her. Even his wife got frustrated by people at some time, but he believed in his vision, in his inner energy, which is the result of his turnover today. Look for Vineeta Singh, founder of Sugar Cosmetics. She was rejected by multiple investors, but she made money herself to bootstrap, and today she is among the few women entrepreneurs leading as a Shark Tank investor. No one got approved by people. Not even cricketer MS Dhoni. He used to work at railways for fitting in until he decided to choose himself over the external world, and today he's in every Indian heart. Of course, today, the people surrounding them know them by their success. Now, everyone wants to be their friend. Now, everyone says, I always knew you could do it. But that's a lie. It was deep inside themselves that they showed respect. They trusted their own thoughts, they trusted their own beliefs. That is why they are where they are today. So now I have a question for you, a logical question. Why are you listening to people who are still struggling? Why do we seek relationship advice from friends who are in toxic marriages? Why do we seek business advice from family members who have never started a business? Why do we seek life advice from people who are terrified of living? That is the mental trap. That is the cage. We are living by the social approval concept, but we are asking the wrong jury. Just think of it once. How can a beggar tell you how to make money? If he had the clarity about money, he wouldn't be begging. The same is the case with your life. The same is the case with this alpha energy you are trying to tap into. If the people around you had the clarity, the courage, and the vision that God gave to you, they wouldn't be standing on the sidelines criticizing you. They would be in the arena with you, but they aren't. So stop asking the fearful how to be brave. Your dissatisfaction comes from trying to mix oil and water. You are trying to mix your unique destiny with the common opinion. It will never mix. And if you keep trying, you lose all your positive energy to win and end up losing on something that can be life-changing. The next time you make a decision, a real decision, one that scares you, one that excites you, try something new. Don't tell anyone. Sit with it, hold it, protect it. Don't leak that energy by asking, "What do you think?" Because the moment you ask, "What do you think?" you are telling your subconscious mind, "I don't trust myself." Instead, practice the art of silence. And I know this won't be easy. And if you feel stuck, try this. Take a pen and paper. Write continuously. Write everything that comes to mind. Do this for 8 hours if needed. Clarity will emerge. Direction will reveal itself. Then begin again. Nothing is evergreen. Even goals evolve. But failure exists only when you give up. Never give up. Find a better path, change direction if required, keep the grip on your destination. That is how an alpha is formed. If you are ready to upgrade your internal self and embody the alpha presence we just defined, this is your invitation. The alpha personality is the one who is comfortable in the silence of their own conviction. You are unique. Your thoughts are a blessing. Don't trade that blessing for a cheap round of applause from people who don't even know who you really are. Trust yourself. Test it. Fail if you have to, but do it on your terms. Never give up. Find a better path. Change direction if required. Keep the grip on your destination. That is how an alpha is formed. If you're ready to upgrade your internal self and embody the alpha presence we just defined, this is your invitation. Connect with me. I help people like you by sharing a clear path for transformation. I decode the systems required to master the internal world so external success becomes inevitable.
This is the Pranjal Gene, waiting for you to meet your alpha self. Stay consistent. Keep upgrading your internal world. If direction needs adjustment, adjust it with awareness, but keep your grip on the destination. Your alpha self is already waiting for you. Step up now.